So I do like Caleb. The 3 spot is where this starts to get really interesting. There's a guy I wanted to put at 3 that I just couldn't do, and I'm going to talk about it when I get to him at 4. But at 3, I think it is Jayden Daniels. Do I have Jayden Daniels as a top 10 graded pick? No. Is he going to probably be a top 10 rated pick? Yeah, probably. And what I'm about to say is a little contradictory because they're sitting at 11, but the Vikings feel like the perfect spot for Jayden Daniels right now. Like that would be electric to see him with the Minnesota Vikings. I think with what that coaching staff does from an offensive standpoint, the weapons that are there, the decency of the offensive line you're going to have, like that would be a system where I think Jayden Daniels could really succeed. And I kind of like what they are doing as an organization. Um, but there's good and bad with Jayden Daniels. There's certainly some development that still needs to happen that I think Kevin O'Connell could do a great job of helping with. Like I really like the way he operates his offense. 11's probably a little bit of a stretch, but like this is Jayden Daniels is gonna like if he goes to like the Patriots, I don't have a lot of faith that his career is gonna go all that great because we have and to be fair to the Patriots, we haven't seen what that organization is going to look like after Bill Belichick because of the amount of control Bill Belichick had on that organization. Like, who knows? Maybe this organization is going to do a really good job of surrounding its quarterback with good assets and a good roster and decent coaching. But like, I think that's what Jayden Daniels is going to need ultimately to succeed in this league. So let's talk about the good and bad with Jayden Daniels because the bad right off the bat is this dude takes some of the most insane hits ever. Like he just gets absolutely clobbered. And this is what happens when you watch the games and not the highlight tape. This has always been his MO. Like I remember watching him in his freshman year at um, Arizona State and thinking like, man, this guy could really be something. Like the tool set is there, but he needs to get more consistent. And as he continued to grow, you're like, man, this guy's taking a lot of hits and they're not good hits. And we even talked about it leading up in this season in the Trophy Kids podcast leading up to this college season and in the early part about how great it was that he put on some healthy weight to hopefully help him absorb some of these hits that we just knew he was going to take over the course of the season because that's what he does. And it has helped him become incredibly efficient as a player. And it's definitely helped boost the numbers because he's so dynamic as a runner because he doesn't go down when he probably should. And he tries to shoot that gap or that angle. And a lot of the times it can work at the college level, but then he gets absolutely clobbered. And in the NFL, he's going to get sent to the shadow realm if he's taking some of these hits. And some of these hits, too, are going to be incredibly detrimental, not to only his health, but to the team because it's going to lead to potentially fumbles and other things. He doesn't seem to care. Like he'll take these hits and just get right back up, which is somewhat reassuring. But I do have question marks about like the sustainability of that, which will be interesting to see, I think. Because I mean, Brian Kelly had to be telling him like go down, and he just wasn't doing it. But maybe not, and that will certainly be a part of his NFL development. But from a passing, like he's a dynamic runner, which is awesome if you can get and utilize a part of that RPO game. It unlocks like the secret power of offenses when you can kind of mix that in. He throws a really good go ball. He attacks the outside really well, I think. We saw this giant jump this season. He hasn't really attacked the middle of the field great, but this is where like the Kevin O'Connell type of coach really I think helps because he does a good job of structuring his routes on from an offensive scheme point. He does a good job of layering plays in to help make it easier to throw across the middle of the field. And I think that development would be very helpful for Jayden Daniels. I think the other concern when we talk about Jayden Daniels is, the pressure to sack ratio is really bad. And that comes from sort of opposite to Drake May, where Drake May is like ultra aggressive. Jayden Daniels certainly he throws with less anticipation and timing at times. And it comes from this kind of, I think, fear of turning over the football. And Brian Kelly kind of spoke a little to this where, early in the season, they were just kind of like, all right, throw an interception. Like we want him to throw an interception so we can just be like, look, you did it. Now you can get rid of it. Like wash it away. Like just get rid of it. You're not going to be perfect. That's okay. We survived. Like let's go make some plays. Let's be aggressive here. So I think maybe that potentially could be a concern. But Jayden Daniels is a very interesting prospect. He's an exciting prospect. Is he a top 10 player? I don't know if I would draft him in the top 10. Like I don't have that grade. Will he get drafted into the top 10? Yes. Could it work out? Yes, depending on the team he goes to. Would I, ideally, could falling be in the best interest of his overall career and going to the right team? Absolutely.